Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Much peace and blessings to all you sincere Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Osh from the Great Millstone, Miami Camp, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect. This is going to be an quick in-transit video, impromptu, just speaking on this clip right here that was put up, from this video by Anton Daniels. And I'm just going to play a portion, okay? Fair use. I don't intend to profit off of this. This is just a short commentary on the clip that you use. Don't strike me, Anton. Okay, but this is more proof that Jacob's trouble is imminent. Jacob's trouble is coming faster than we think, because there's a plethora of reasons that the Lord has to completely destroy our nation. And I'm speaking about the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans throughout the four corners of the earth, but mainly here in Babylon the Great, which is America. Okay, we know this place is soon to be destroyed by fire at the climax of World War III by those nuclear missiles. And 2/3 of our people, 66.6% of all so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that dwell in this land will be destroyed. That's according to biblical prophecy. That's in the book of Zechariah, the 13th chapter. Okay? And those reasons that the Lord has for destroying our people range from anywhere from adultery, the fornication, a high level of fornication, sexual immorality amongst our people, which is a part of black culture. Everything a part of black culture is wicked and evil and against the scriptures, against the word of the Most High, that the God of Israel, Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai. Okay? Adultery, witchcraft, the way our people behave, the way our people treat each other, they're just totally rude and nasty, especially the so-called black woman. Just rude and nasty for no reason, but will be all giggly and bubbly in the face of a so-called white man, right? And polite and respectable. Our people are just full of wickedness, and this is also a reason. Okay, when it just something as simple as diet, something as simple as having discipline over what you put in your body, right? Our people really do not care. The vast majority of our people do not care about their health. They do not care about their diet. And the scriptures say a cheerful heart will have care over his meat and diet. So if someone doesn't care about their health, they don't care about keeping their vessel, their vehicle, right? Your body is a vehicle for your spirit. That's all. And just like you have a vehicle for your transportation, you make sure you put the right fuel in it. You get oil changes, you put gas, right? So that you can get around. And our people will do that, but they won't stop to even learn what and what not to put into their body in order to have proper health, a proper bodily functions. And on top of that, they won't do it for themselves. And on top of that, the so-called black woman, who is supposed to be the backbone of the family, she's supposed to be the head over the children. That's her lot. As the scripture said, a woman shall be saved in childbearing. Their lot is to raise up and rear the children, right? And a woman's role is so beautiful and so important. Something as simple as preparing meals and cooking for the next generation so they can grow up to be big and strong and smart, right? As simple as that is, and yet so important, right? Because you can't have a functional family, let alone a community or a nation, if the people are not healthy, if the people are sick and all fucked up, got all type of issues, excuse my French, right? And the children are not getting proper nutrition, you're not going to have proper brain function, you're not going to have proper bodily functions. And that's exactly what the so-called white man desires for our people, so that we can be much more easy to oppress and to dominate. Okay? Something so simple yet important as that, the so-called black woman will not, she refuses to look into these things, to put any sort of effort and thought into these things. They refuse to learn how to prepare a meal, or refuse to cook. That's like speaking another language to them. They want to eat out all day, every day for every meal. And if they can't afford to Uber Eats or DoorDash, they just tell Lil Ronnie to go in there and get a Pop-Tart. All right, go in there and get the cup Kraft mac and cheese. You just put some water in there, or a fucking cup noodle, and put it in the microwave. Which is, they get the big box of chips. Say, go get Lil Ronnie. Say, I'm hungry, man. Go get you some chips. And don't drink water. These grown ass women, grown ass adults talking about, I don't drink water. That's nasty. You see why the Most High got to destroy our people? If you don't care to have a properly functioning vessel, why should you be alive? Why should the Most High allow you to walk this earth if you don't even care about your health, let alone the health of your children? Okay? So I'm gonna play this clip just to show you another reason why our people need destruction, right? They just passed a law in Texas, which is a good law. That's good, to ban the purchasing of junk food with food stamps, with EBT, right? They took out the ability to purchase chips and soda and candy. And you got the so-called black woman up in arms about that, which we already knew that. We were expecting that. Because they don't know how to cook. They refuse to cook. They don't want to cook. And they watch the excuses come. But we know what it is. They're just fucking lazy. They don't care about themselves, and they do not care about their children. That's all it is. Let's play this.
So the state of Texas is banning the purchase of chips, soda, junk food, basically, with EBT. Mind you, the price for single ingredients for one meal will run you anywhere from $60 to $80. 60 is being generous. So I don't see, one, why that was any of their business, and two, why would they do such a thing when inflation is at an all-time high right now? And what about those people who don't have access?
What the hell is she talking about?
She ain't talking about a damn thing, okay? She ain't talking about a damn thing. So of course the so-called black woman have an issue with that. She have an issue with being told that she can't use free money that she did not work for, right? And again, I'm not knocking anybody that use food stamps. Okay? If you can qualify for food stamps, get that shit. Okay? Because food is not cheap, and Esau owe us way more than that. Okay? Way more than that. You got a lot of Edomites will try to, knock Jake for using food stamps. Talking about our taxpayer money. Meanwhile, their government is sending billions and billions and billions of dollars of their tax money to Israel, to Ukraine, and doing all type of wickedness with their tax money. But they want to knock Jake for getting food stamps. Give me a fucking break. Okay? But of course, that's just the hatred the so-called white man has for our people. They find any reason to, talk shit about Jake just so they don't have to deal with the reality that their own government is against them. Okay, but again, she ain't talking about a damn thing. She got a problem with how free money is now she can't buy junk food with free money. That's her issue. All the problems we got in the world today, that's her biggest issue. Okay? And she wanna say, make up the lie and say that it's because single ingredient foods is expensive. That's bullshit. She just said a single whole ingredient foods is $60 to $80. That's a fucking joke. That's a lie. That's a complete lie. She pulled that out of her ass. Straight out her ass. Because she doesn't want to say the truth, and the truth is she's just lazy. She don't want to cook. She don't want to prepare food for Lil Ronnie. She wants to be able to buy food that Lil Ronnie can prepare himself, that he could just put in the microwave, that he could just open up the bag and eat. And that shit is not real food. That's not even food. Junk food is not food. That's just some lab-made, created chemical shit that if you eat it, you won't die. It'll keep you from starving. But if you keep eating it, you will die. You ain't gonna die immediately, but you're dying slowly. Okay? Anything come out of a box or a bag with a laundry list of ingredients, that's not food. If it can sit on the shelf for months and months at a time, and then you can go eat it later, that is not food. Okay? Period. So she's lying and making up shit just to justify her wickedness. So clearly this is the state of our people in 2025. So I'm glad Esau put in that law. That's righteous. Okay? But again, the so-called black woman, she has an issue with that. So let's just show you in the scriptures how these are signs that the Most High is getting ready to deal with our people. Okay? And when I say deal, I'm talking about put them to death. I'm talking about straight cold F them up. Especially you so-called women, especially you so-called black women. All right? And that's the reason why these little kids are the way they are. They're little monsters, they're little demons. They like that because of their mom. The mom is the first nurturer and teacher of the children. So you come out the womb and this is the first creature you see. This is who you gotta learn from. Of course you're gonna grow to be a whole demon. Of course you're going, and that's why through the Spirit, for years now, start with our apostles and elders, right? Mainly Apostle Rakah, coined the term GMO baby. Calling these kids GMO babies because that's exactly what the fuck they are. Genetically modified organisms. They're not real. Okay, they're a product of Esau's twisted and sick imagination. Okay, they clone Tyrone. But this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. And that's talking about our people, the nation of Israel, starting with the men. The Lord compared us to precious stones and minerals like gold, like silver, okay? That's supposed to shine and be high value, right? Verse 2, the precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? And as you can see clearly, the so-called black man is being made to be the most evil person in America. Okay, especially what's going on with this new latest incident with this track athlete putting that Edomite to death. I believe that's a whole psyop, but that's another conversation. You got a lot of these Edomites. They're ready to put hands on Jake. They are fed up with Jake. They're fed up with our people as a nation, and they want to kill us. Okay, so we know what's coming. Our people are looked at as shit, as earthen pitchers. And can you blame them? Can you blame Khan? I'm just doing a lesson real quick. You want to help? You want me to help you? Just leave it and I'll grab it. I'm just about to put on my shoes and go. Okay. No, you good, brother? Salakia. Where was I? How can you blame the other nations, namely Esau, for looking at our people the way they do, when their own mothers look at them like that? The only person that's supposed to love you unconditionally looks at you like shit, to the point where she don't even give a damn about your health. Right? Verse 3, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. You see that? So even animals feed their children. They take care of their children, and they feed their children real food that, the different creatures, they eat what they supposed to eat. Right? Black women don't breastfeed. That long gone. So when they come out of the womb, they slurping down genetically modified lab shit. Corn syrup solids. Okay? Just straight up poison from the womb. That's why in 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, it tells you, when it speaks about those different, for the second time, I'm just going to quote it, when it speaks about the different signs of the end, it says, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Right? Now we know the birth defects are increasing due to all the poisons and toxins and shit. Because of eating shit like that. Eating fucking junk food. These women be pregnant, eating this shit. Right? That's why autism is at an all-time high. Right? Children having birth defects, all this shit goes back to the diet. And diet is simple, man. That's simple. That's the most simplest thing when you really understand it. Okay? So even the animals feed their children, and the woman, they'll say, I feed them, look. And the cart be full of fucking Capri-Suns, Chips Ahoy, Pringles, a Hawaiian Punch, and TV dinners. And say, I feed my children eat good. Be on fucking TikTok talking about, look at us, we eating good. And that's not food. Ain't none of that is food. So you're not feeding your child. Okay? Verse 4, the tongue of the suckling child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. So they're not even eating real food, and it's going to come to the point where that famine is going to come. So you could clearly see these women abandoning their children, eating their children when shit hit the fan. Because look at what they're doing right now. They complaining about free money, what to buy with free money. Talking about it's none of their business. Bitch, it's coming from them. Got on the internet, on the World Wide Web, and complain about not being able to buy junk food with free money with a straight face. Showing y'all shame has completely left the building. And it's time for the nukes. Bring the nukes. Okay? So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say. Lord willing, I was edifying. With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Basham, Yahushai, until the next one. Shalom.